And just to begin with you and kick you off with this conversation, I believe you've seen what has happened. And just dating it back to, I believe, the 20th of this month when we saw the demonstrations begin, we saw one of your offices touched in Kisumu and some of the belongings at that particular location. Fast forward to today, we've seen another office being touched in Siaya. And these are places that need to be protected by the policemen. Part of the conversation this week has been on how the tone of the IG has been, especially with relation to the demonstrations, people saying that the police themselves are their biggest enemy. And when you look at how they're not necessarily protecting even your property as the UD, how do you answer to Kenyans who say that, you know what, the tone at that high pedestal of the IG needs to change if in any case you're expecting to see changes in the coming days?
Number one, protection of our offices. UDA offices are not government offices. As much as we are ruling party, we are not government offices.
Yes.
So the protection of our properties is meant to be our own partake.
Yeah.
So that we employ our own personal guards so that we can protect them. Most of the policemen at Siaya and Kisumu were focusing more on the rioters and protesters, not on our offices.
Yeah.
It was a very sad story to understand that our offices are being touched.
Yeah.
But moving forward, we are trying to look in a way whereby you can hire serious private companies that can protect our offices. Yeah.
Okay, well, you look, you handle data, of course. You handle data, and this seems to be something that's going to be progressing on in the coming days, because one of your mandate, I want to believe as a party, is to see to it that you spread your roots amongst the people and the whole nation. And considering you're a relatively new party, what are those measures that you're going to put in place? Because as of today, and considering the president and the opposition leader haven't sat down, you expect this to be going on in the next coming weeks. Would it not be walking 2 steps forward and taking 20 back? Because you'll be setting up offices and they'll be touched. What's the way forward?
Not really. As a party, what we're trying to do is we have toned down in terms of opening offices.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do is now sensitization on registration. We have a serious online portal that we are registering members across the board. Even Mheshimiwa is aware of that.
Yeah.
So what we do, we have county coordinators, we have constituency coordinators who we are liaising with on a day-to-day basis to assist us in registering members. As it stands right now, we have about 9.4 registered members, active registered members, approved by ORPP. So it's an ongoing process, as much as we are going backward in terms of offices, but we have registered members. Members are the ones who propel the party. Members are the voters, not the offices. Even if we have 50 offices in the country and we don't have members, it's useless. So what we're trying to do is continue registering members so that in the coming elections, we have members who can support us. And also we are trying to try and come up with a plan to educate our members in terms of our manifesto, strategies, and all that. Even voter education policy, because you know one thing that we faced in the recent election, the 2022 election, was most voters didn't understand what it entails to vote for someone. So moving forward, what we're trying to do is come up with a proper curriculum that will try and register, train our members in terms of our manifesto, in terms of the voting process, in terms of what it entails to elect a leader. We're even coming up with programs for the youth. We recently had one with China. We're also planning one with Italy. So we're trying to register members.
Well, it's a good thing you handle data, and when you're looking at these demonstrations, often or not, it might come off that a majority, if not all of the people on the streets belong to the Azimio faction. When you're handling your data, is there anywhere in your data that shows that, you know what, maybe the people that voted us into this government are not necessarily happy with us as administration, at least as of today, of where the country is placed?
We won by 7.2 against 6.9. So we have that awareness that 6.9 was supporting Azimio coalition. What we are trying to do as a party is try and sensitize and help and try and understand why the 6.9 did vote for us. We took the government at a very shaky situation, and we understand. And part of our manifesto, we're trying to improve our economy. And the president is doing rounds around the world to try and help come up with partners who can improve our economy. Part of the things that he has done is try and reduce the borrowing. And in connection to that is trying to bring more of private-public partnership. So in that, it's helping our economy. So part of the conversation that we're having at the party is now we come to the media, try and sensitize. Because, you know, most of our citizens don't understand that there's the long-term strategy and the short-term strategy. As a country right now, we have improved a lot. But the media is not airing that. In terms of, for example, like unemployment rate. When we got into power, it was 6.2, right now it's 5.7. That's an improvement. When you look at the inflation rate, when you got to power, it was at 9.4. Right now it's at 8.5.
Yeah.
That's an improvement. As much as the cost of unga has gone up, but the inflation rate has gone down.
Yeah.
You're getting. And then also as we compare to our competitors, Rwanda, Uganda, our inflation rate is doing well. For example, like Rwanda, which is amongst the best economic blocks in our neighborhood, its inflation rate is at 20.
Yeah.
Ours at 8. So we are doing really well in terms of the economy. So what we're trying to do as UDA and as a party is try and bring such conversation to the media and try and help our citizens understand that we are not doing badly off as a country.
Okay.
What you need to do is give us time to try and improve our economy.
Okay. Well, you've mentioned an interesting point there, that the media doesn't necessarily air out what you believe is being done well, but I want to believe, as K24 right here, we usually do that. That probably is Dan's perception. Of course, he's entitled to that as well.
Yes.
Now, we're looking at you talking about what you've been able. Numbers are all good. Numbers are all good, Dan. But we're in this situation that we're here today because we have a section of Kenyans who feel that nothing much has been done. In your sensitization efforts, what is it that you're doing different to see to it that, yes, indeed, you're working? Because Kenyans, we can't lie to ourselves that Kenyans feel that you've established or stabilized the economy as the president has stated.
Number one, you see the problem that we're facing, the reason why Azimio are going to the Mandamano is they're stating that part of the reason is you need to open the servers. Number one, Kenyans need to understand that Azimio coalition did not manage their votes. Number two, they never educated their voters. I mean, you cannot do the voting process and don't have a command center. We believe to understand that Azimio never had a command center. So them saying that they want to open the servers and coming up with fictitious claims that they got these results, from where did they get that results? Us, from the data side, what we did is we came up, got the data from our agents, got the data from IBC, correlate our data and tabulated. Them, they never did that. So even when they're saying that we need to open the servers, they need to come up with a proof of number one, as we can open our system and see. There was a section where our agents were uploading the data. There's a section where we were pulling data from IBC. And there's a section where we were now correlating and comparing the notes. Them, they never had that. So even if you open the, we are confident we can open the servers. We don't have a problem of opening the servers. But election is time due. It's barely 7 months down the line. Why should we go back to the elections? In terms of election reforms, number one, those are things that can be taken to parliament. Mheshimiwa and his colleagues, those are things that they can address. Then we don't need to go to the roads and start talking about IBC reforms. Things to do with inflation. As Gabriel has said, there are things that is affecting our inflation, the cost of goods. Things like land, the cost of land in our country is a bit expensive. If you look at also drought affected our production capacity in a serious. Our supply is about 40. Our supply was about 29,000. Our demand is about 43 million bags, and our supply was 29. You see, because of drought, not it's because of our regime that caused us not to have that. The part of the measures the government is trying to do is trying to put importation free. There's an importation free pronouncement that was made. So now importers can import maize at a free duty price. You're getting, so that those are part of the measures that were put in place to try and stabilize and create the balance in terms of demand and supply.
Well, I think I can mention that Azimio hasn't necessarily been talking to the right person. I believe they should be talking to Dan Kibet right here, who's clearly stated that they're very confident enough they can open that server. So I just want to confirm with Dan, because he stated there's nothing they want to hide, they can open that server. Dan, can you open that server tomorrow so that we set it up and just
as
on
stated,
live TV?
We are now facing, we had 7 times down the line. We went to court. Azimio and both of us.
No, but then you said you don't have
we don't have a problem.
You don't have a problem.
So
this can be open.
We're not hiding anything.
You are the director of data analytics at the ruling party. Can you confirm this right now so that we share this information with Azimio that they can open those servers by tomorrow? That's one of the biggest questions.
I don't handle IBC servers. I handle UDA servers.
UDA servers,
So that is prerogative of IBC director for IT. And
but you said you're confident.
We're confident from our end.
What has caused or not enabled you guys to open these servers as Azimio want them? What is the biggest impediment?
As stated, I'm not an IBC official. Number one, I don't have access to IBC servers. IBC is an independent body, government body. There's a procedure for that purpose to happen.
Yeah.
But from our end, from the